Welcome in to Drag Race Central. I'm your host, Randall Shue.
I'm your host, Lane Shue.
Hey, we got Mr. Jonney Powel in here with us this morning.
How's everybody doing?
Man, we're so excited to have Jonney here. We have talked about this little trip for you for quite some time.
Yep.
So you were here. When
I was
were you
here the week before Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You knew he was going to come back, and he came back for the World of Wheels. He'll be on. I almost said he's going to be on display with us at the World. He's going to be visiting in our stall at the World of Wheels. David Church and I got set up down there on a Thursday, and we got a big enough spot for two cars. It's a 10 by 50 space. Everything's got so David brings. He has absolutely beautiful stuff. So anyway, he brought one of his cars. When you turn in on, I think that's 10th Avenue. Anyway, it's right by the big hotel. When you turn in, they're doing construction work. Now last year they were doing construction work, but we parked our trucks and trailers under the freeway. Absolutely perfect. There was no spectator parking under it. We just had the place to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get around too well. My total walking was 100 feet. Man, It was just great. Well, how about this year? I got to the because we had to go pull inside and unload because this was Thursday. It's raining, it's cold, it's all the things that you really are excited about being wintertime in Alabama. So when I got to that intersection and started turning, there was a record coming out. I said, man, this what's he doing? The gates they have got big chain link fences, one way in, one way out. So there's only enough room for one vehicle.
Wow. Yes, it's not much leeway on either side.
So I waited till the record got out of the way.
Right.
Pulled in, and there's mud and goo. I don't know. It's concrete, slag, and gravel. So these people are pulling their high dollar show cars, because a lot of all your really nice stuff is enclosed trailers.
Right.
But occasionally, some people have drivers.
Yes.
Now these drivers are very, very nice, but still it's a driver.
Yes.
Well,
but driving through all that mud.
And how about the rain before they got there? So they survive all the rain, get there, and they got to go mudding.
Wow.
So anyway. The World of Wheels people did a great job. You pull in and where you go in the big garage door. Now this garage door is 20 feet wide and probably 30 feet tall.
Oh wow!
Big door. When you pull up and stop, now they had a guy had a Birmingham police officer and another guy said, "Hey, wait right here and until they let you come in, because there's a bunch of trucks and trailers in. You go pull your enclosed in and unhook your thing." So, but they had a big piece of carpet. 20 feet wide, 30 feet, so you could pull up, and by the time you rolled across it, it just about cleaned your wheels.
Wow.
They really had it figured out.
Well, that's good.
And then right there where we parked, there's a 65, 66 Chevrolet truck, a step side. Nice driver. He brought it in on a flat trailer, and all that spray, he said had been washing on this thing for 2 weeks. He had to start all over again.
Wow, that's the bad part about something.
But he got it. Hey, it all worked out well. The World of Wheels, some great cars. We're going to talk about our favorite rides. Landon got there and he started making the laps last night. I asked, "What's your favorite?" He come up with something I've never even heard of.
Something I never heard of. That was the best part.
So we'll talk more and more about some of the contraptions.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting there today.
Yep. We hadn't talked about this because you've been in and out and you were traveling yesterday, and we're going to a place after breakfast, or after the show. Our executive decision of the day is where we're going to eat breakfast, and that's generally the biggest thing we've got to worry about.
That's the first thing.
Well, we're going being the car show, and we can't go anywhere. But we got to be back and all that stuff. So we're going to a place called Big Bad Breakfast.
Big Bad Breakfast.
It's a breakfast experience. They're not sponsored of the show or anything. It's just the thingest place you ever been. It's kind of like going to Gatlinburg and eating up in up in the mountains.
Yeah.
So
sounds really cool.
it is. So we'll go over there, go over today. And good news is, I think Landon's paying.
Okay. Sounds good.
You're gonna be disappointed.
I'm in.
You are gonna be disappointed.
Johnny, this ain't looking good at all.
It's not Hardy's, huh?
He's got. We'll get a glass of water and a toothpick. That's called a pine float.
Keep it under $3.
Under $3.
$3, okay.
That ain't gonna
We'll
work.
work on that.
No, whew, yeah. You have to move the decimal point a little bit to the right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyway, the world of wheels. We're a drag race show and all that, but this time of year, absolutely no drag racing going on. Even down in Bradenton, Florida, where I was a month ago this weekend, they had the World Street, some kind of streetcar deal down there. It got so cold they canceled it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was in the 30s.
Probably got 60. Oh.
No, it was. Oh, yeah, got down to under 70. They just freaked out.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was in the 30s.
That's cold for Florida.
Yeah, it is. And that old moist, there was a car took off and turned and got hit the wall pretty hard, and they just shut it down because there's nothing they do. The guys up at Maryland, where they have the what is that big race they have up there? Imports and domestic stuff.
Yes, the imports and all.
Yeah.
They had that Maryland International Drag.
Yeah. Well, they are used to the cold temperatures, and they'll alter the composition of the track compound.
They prep the track different because that track's not very far from where I live.
Yeah.
You have 2 tracks up there, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, in Florida, it's raining or it's warm, and that's about the only conditions they have. How would you like to be the weatherman down there? You get in the morning, hey, gonna be pretty today. It's gonna rain 15 minutes, then it's gonna be pretty again.
Yeah. Then rain again.
Yeah, it might rain again. And tonight, more of the same. Tomorrow, same thing.
And then 100% humidity.
Yeah. But, if they'd had some of the Maryland guys down there, they'll cut the traction compound with alcohol and do different percentages.
It's a whole different setup.
Yep.
Yes, that's true. All these areas. I've been to some tracks up north when I used to race up in Canada and up in upper state New York in the fall part of the year. And them tracks, you would think down south where I'm from, the tracks would have a little hard time hooking that time of the year. But up there, you'd break stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's a totally different compound setup they would do for the tracks.
Sure. Well, that's, they are used, and of course in summertime they have hot temperatures, so they they get used to all kind of conditions, and Florida just don't. So anyway, they go. I don't even think they're going to reschedule it.
Wow, that's a shame. There's usually some good racing down there when they have that the first every year. Fast cars, that's for sure.
They're running in the 360s.
I've been to Speed World down there a few times to some of the races up in that area. And
we used to go to the World Street Nationals.
Yes, the World Street Nationals. Everybody get to drive all the cars on the street the night before the race and all.
I remember going over to Race Rock Cafe.
Race Rock Cafe, yep.
And had the we sat out there on the side, and when all the cars left out of there, they going to skeet the tires.
Exactly, that's true. They'd sit there. My son was going, I guess it was in the early 2000s. He went to college up there, and I'd go up there for 2 years. I went up there to that race, and we'd sit out there and watch him cruise town. I'm talking fast cars. Back then you didn't have the Street Outlaws. You didn't have them kind of cars that exist.
You mean the Sesame Street Outlaws?
Pardon me?
The Sesame Street Outlaws?
Yeah, exactly. That's right, exactly.
Hey, my buddy Glenn, who's passed now, but I called him. I said, Glenn, let's go to Orlando. Okay, he was actually my Sunday school teacher when I was a kid. And his oldest daughter and me are the same age. So this is somebody I've known for a long time. Let's go to Orlando. So sure enough, we're gonna go. We got there. We left out about 3:00 in the morning on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. That way I could get into Orlando about 1-2 o'clock. Go put the trailer up, and we make it back over to Race Rock. So the crowd was terrible. There's so many people. We went in there and finally got our seat, and they had video going from the previous year.
Yeah, all over the television.
Right. So me and Glenn are sitting there talking. Look up, I saw my car go across the screen. I still got that tape too.
That's pretty cool.
Hey,
Yeah, they sell the tapes. They sell.
Yes.
Used to sell the back then. It was VHS tapes and stuff.
that's how come they were playing them, because
Yeah.
you see your car, you're going to buy one of them, baby.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
exactly.
remember how much it was. I'm sure it was too
It
high.
doesn't matter. That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, those were fun days. But this time of year, there's no racing going on. Although we do have the gassers. I know you'll probably be back down for the gassers
Yeah.
May the 7th.
Yeah, we will. And I think the first race is coming up in March
Yeah.
in Georgia this year, which I've got the schedule, and they changed a few races, but we're gonna try to be at all of them.
Oh, that is great. I talked to Todd yesterday, and he was. They're trying to get their cars back together. I was over to his business about a couple weeks ago. There wasn't the cars in there didn't have two parts bolted together. They had them things tore all to
Yeah,
pieces.
everybody's scrambling now.
Yeah.
It's crunch time.
So he only had 3 to put back together.
Yeah, I saw he had the Bel Ray or whatever, the
Uh-huh.
new front end on it.
Well, they made a fiberglass front end.
That's what I saw. I was told that.
He has some talented people hanging around him.
Yeah.
I think he had made a comment, boy, I like to have a fiberglass deck lid. The boy says, I'll make you one. What do you mean you make one? Oh, yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
That's some pretty cool guys to have.
That's the very, very good people to have around you in your
Yeah,
team.
let's just make one. How hard could this be?
That's right.
And it looked good, too.
Well, somebody makes them somewhere.
Sure.
Because everything you got, somebody's made it, so you just got to figure out how to do it.
And somebody on a truck brought it.
That's right. Well, yeah, that's getting limited now. There's a lot of people I've talked to, and even up in Maryland in the past month, that aren't even going to be able to start the season off because they're waiting on car parts, engine
no
parts
parts?
and stuff.
Yeah, there's no connecting rods.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
There's a lot of pieces. I know some boys are waiting on sets of pistons.
There's an engine builder in Pennsylvania, not far from me, and he was telling me the week before Christmas, he had like 6 motors he's waiting to get finished with, and he's got 2 crankshafts that he's waiting. It's going to be like 2 months, and this was at Christmas.
Yeah.
2 months before the crankshafts will even be here.
Man.
And they've been on order for like 2 months at that point.
So I guess when you buy parts, you got to get all of them that are available.
Yeah,
And that's what the guys are doing.
be a lot of junk motors put together the first of the season.
Oh, yeah.
I see a lot of the guys with the Southeast gassers are going back to Plan B to start the season. off
Well,
with.
use their mule motor.
Yep.
The one they do the testing on.
Yep.
Hey, you got to go the race.
You're running for the points. You got to show up at every race,
Yes.
one way or the other.
Even if you do,
points add up.
you miss a race or two, you can forget it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So anyway, those guys are doing a good job. I think Todd has stepped up with some new stuff. Maybe he'll give us a call this morning. I think step up with some new stuff. And
That would be nice.
he had a problem eating the rear main bearing.
Yeah, he told me last time I spoke with him at the race. That's the problem he was having.
You know what caused it?
No.
A misalignment of the transmission.
Really?
You have to put dial indicators on that deal.
Yeah.
It was off 10,000ths. We're talking
And
10,000.
that made that much difference.
It bottom loaded the crankshaft on the main web.
Turning the RPMs the motors are turning. That little bit of stuff. Those motors. It's amazing they stay together
It is
like they do.
and so few failures.
Yeah, there's not very many failures. There's not. There really isn't. And normally, if they are, it's a manufacturer failure. Something
Oh, yeah.
breaks. It's not because of workmanship. It's usually because of craftsmanship.
Hey,
or
and
something's
not
built.
maintenance. Them boys do some maintenance
They
on
do.
them cars. And our buddy Ken Rainwater, I saw, he's been wearing the dyno out with his new stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I followed them guys all last year, and I got to build a pretty good rapport with most of them. And I was disappointed this year at the banquet they had. I wasn't able to go because I was sick, and then my mother passed away. So I had to miss the banquet. And it looks like they had a really good time there.
Oh, that is
And
great.
things were- it's a really tight knit family.
In some you lost your mom in some sad news for our. We mentioned last week one of our racers, Philip Lavoie. It's old friend from years and years. Philip passed, and they buried him yesterday.
That's sad.
So that was they had a service for him yesterday.
We have to keep his family in our prayers.
Yes, and the coolest thing. Now, this is a racing family. He was cremated. They put his body in a nitrous bottle.
Really?
His daughter is going to mount the nitrous bottle in the car with her. She races, and he'll get to make a pass every time she does.
That is so cool.
These are a great family. And Miss Nikki, his daughter, I was on the TV show Pinks.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Pinks All Out. I was on that thing. We were in Montgomery, and they'll let you have 5 people on the starting line with you. I said, Nikki, come here. She was about 14, 15. She's what? I said, sign this. Why? You can go on the starting line with me. So she signs, and she got to go and get to be on TV with me. That was pretty good.
Wow.
All right, we're going to go out and take a break. We'll be right back on DragRace Central. Welcome back into DragRace Central. I am I guess what I'll be the King Cheese.
Yeah, today.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Yeah.
We got Mr. Jonney Powel here with us today from Hub Saver. And I'm going to need, and I've got to say this, I'm going to need some of your product.
Okay.
I had something follow me home the other day.
Oh yeah.
It was devastating. Well, not really, but anyway, it followed me home, so I must keep it. So I went up to see the Ward brothers. It's advertising time of the month. I went up there. A trailer came out of the lot, jumped on my truck.
I knew that would happen.
It was, I don't know how that happens.
He accidentally went there with a check with his signature already on it. So I'll take that one.
So it was kind of pre-planned.
No.
Well, I'm like a Boy Scout. I was prepared in case one came out there. I'd pay for it, and I'd be good.
You'd be good to go.
So, they had several out there. I thought about one of the tilt bed ones, and you pop these. They got some safeties, and you pop these things loose, and the whole bed is probably 10, 15 pounds. It's very well balanced. You just lean it up. So, man, I kind of like that, because I don't get around real well, and I don't have to pull ramps out and nothing.
Is it a little one axle?
No, these are big.
It's tall. It's a big trailer.
You got 20 and 24 foot.
Okay. Gotcha.
The 24 foot has got a 4-foot section in front with it that don't tilt.
Yeah.
The 20 foot, the whole thing tilts. So I'm looking at things, man, I like it. And one of the Ward brothers says, now let me tell you, great trailer, there's nothing wrong, except you can't put but one thing on it. When you drive it up there, it closes.
When it tilts, it doesn't come. Yeah.
So if you got something behind it, you got trouble. So I thought, well, that ain't gonna work. But anyway,
We'll make it work.
So I went ahead and bought one with ramps, and they pull out the back, and hey, Land, it's pretty, ain't it?
What color is it?
Black.
Black.
You should have went with one that you said the colors they have.
Oh, they had
Neon green and orange.
Oh yeah, and they had this neon green one. I went right on past that baby.
It matched the green car.
Oh no!
Oh,
no! No, it's wrong kind of
Is
ugly.
it a better kind of green?
It's kind of like your car.
Oh, okay.
It's yaller. It's
Yaller.
not yellow. Yaller.
Yeah.
I have. I'm still thinking about getting a taxi hat on there.
Oh, now they've got a fluffy blue one.
Fluffy blue.
And it's fluffy that's as nice as I'm gonna be.
I know the blue you're talking about.
Pastel.
I know the blue you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking
Holy
about.
smoke! And I said, "What in the world possessed y'all to order them?" He said, "We can't keep them in stock."
That's amazing.
And then they got a hunter green one. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's color of mid '60s Mustang, so it actually works.
gotcha.
And the yellow one, the guys, the Challengers, it's almost the same color as the Challenger. So the guys with the Challenger are buying
Yeah.
trailers to match their car.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool concept.
And there that was pretty neat. So I had to get me some hub sabers from a little trailer too.
You can get them.
That's pretty cool.
We'll set you right up.
Tell our listeners about the hub saber.
Well, any of you that is not aware of it, it is it's a safety device that goes over your hub behind your nut. It's a retainer. It holds your wheel in place if you lose out a wheel bearing, and this happens a lot. I invented this part about almost 4 years ago when we started with it. I was an auto transporter, and I was all over the United States, and I've seen this problem all the time. And I had some real close calls, and I saw a few people get killed from wheels flying off going through the windshield. So my wife, we sat down, and my wife's a CAD designer, and we sat down and started working on some drawings. And a come up with some prototypes, and we started testing them on our trailers, and we found something that worked. And then we started working with some metal people and coming up with some formulas of the right type of material that would help dissipate the heat. And what it does, if the outer bearing goes off, or you lose the bearing for any reason at all.
When? Because it's coming.
Oh, it's going to come. It's going to happen. If it hadn't happened, it's going to happen
Yeah, don't worry.
to you one day.
It's coming.
Nobody's exempt from this problem.
Mm-hmm.
What it does, these pieces are fitted to the size of the outer part of the race. So it will not let the wheel come off. It'll keep it in place. It will not damage your spindle. The wheel will camber just enough so you'll know you got a problem. But
and you see it in the rearview mirror. You look in as
Yeah.
You can see a tread and a half. Something's wrong.
Yeah, you can look in the mirror and you'll tell if you got a problem. But as long as you're traveling, the centrifugal force of that wheel keeps it up on the that inner bearing is what takes all the weight anyway.
Okay.
And as you slow down and turn, you can see the wheel start to camber, so you know you got a problem. It'll let you get off the highway or go anywhere to get your repair done, and you won't be stranded, stuck side the road.
Oh, that's great.
Believe me, it happened to me many times. And on the way from Maryland just to South Carolina this past week, I passed 7 trailers beside the road with the wheels missing off of them, between boat trailers, construction trailers, and one car hauler and one camper.
Wow.
So it happens, and it's not a grease issue. It's not a maintenance issue. The outer cage on these bearings are just not made the way they used to be made. Mm-hmm. And when you're making the turns, it starts loosening the cages up.
And it's a side load.
And
bearings are not designed for a side load.
They're not in most everything, as everyone knows, is made overseas now.
Uh-huh.
So the material is not up to par to what it should be, in my opinion. And from all the testing that we did, because we cut a bunch of them apart and tested. And the part that we have is made here in the United States. The material comes from the United States. It's none of it's made overseas.
Now, Johnny, I take this thing around me when I'm going around, and the biggest comment I get from my customers, they say, "Wait a minute, that's so simple."
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't I think of that?
That's what I've said my whole life when I've seen stuff. I was in the motorcycle business for most of my life, and I designed a bunch of parts, custom parts. But I never got to the step to get them patented. But I missed out opportunity a few times, and somebody kind of stole the ideas from me. So when we started working on this, I knew we had something, and we started checking with the United States Patent Department, and there was never nothing in ever designed like this.
Hey, and that's a big project.
It took us. It was a couple years in the process of getting this done.
Minimum of 18 months.
Yeah,
I've been through this.
Actually, when we're in the patent process, we had our coverage, but actually, not a lot of people know this, but in the second week of December, we got our final notice from the patent department where everything was completed and registered.
Oh, that is great.
So it's all completed on all sizes.
It's no longer patent pending.
Nope, it's all complete. It's all registered with the United States Patent Department. So that was the hardest process I've ever been through for getting something done.
All right, I hear music in the background. We're going to go out and take our half-hour break. Remember, 941-1011 is our number. We'll be right back on DragRace Central. All right, welcome back into DragRace Central. Hey, Johnny, I'm going to do some real radio shows, guys. At 6:33 on a Saturday morning. It is February the 5th. How about that? Landon, hook us up over there.
Hey, and we talking about thinking ahead with the hub saver. And you also need to think ahead with the raised drive shafts. Your factory drive shaft might not work for what you're using, or maybe you just built a new vehicle that needs one made. Call Raised Drive Shaft for your custom drive shaft needs at 1417 Decatur Highway in Fultondale, Alabama. You can give them a call at 256-572-7485. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Make you a custom drive shaft for your needs, specifications for cars, trucks, SUVs, side-by-sides.
Giraffes.
I don't think anybody owns any of those personally.
A giraffe is a machine that has a telescoping boom, about a 4-foot saw blade hanging out on this end of this thing. So when it's collapsed, boom is maybe 15 feet long. I don't know.
Yeah.
When it extends, it's about 50 feet long. Ray makes the drive shafts for this thing. He got 5 drive shafts in it.
Wow.
So they expand, and it's the awfulest mess of drive shafts you ever seen in your life.
What kind of material is it? Aluminum or steel?
It's gonna be steel.
It's steel.
Steel.
Yeah. And you know the boom may be aluminum. I don't know, but it clears right of ways. Is what it is.
I got you.
And you can ride down the road at 4 or 5 miles an hour clearing right away. And this thing will clear right away. Let me tell you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they do good. So anyway, he builds drive shafts for those and race cars and anything else you need. All right. Speaking of cars, now Landon, you went moseying around
I
World
had to
of
go look at
Wheels.
a few things.
And of course, first thing you went to do is look is for some snacks, I'm sure. But anyway, did you get any snacks?
No luck there.
Oh, tell us about the coolest car that you saw.
It was a Nissan. You have it written down over there.
Figaro.
Figaro.
We're not sure if it's Figaro or Figaro. It's one of those gender bender type names. Figero. Is that
no,
the way?
No.
Oh.
Uh-uh.
Try again.
Figaro.
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 Yes, Nissan Figaro. It's smaller than a smart car, but it's kind of like the T-Bird where they did the retro design for the new vehicle. Because me and him were discussing it, and he was like, "It's got to be in the '60s," and I looked. It was '91.
It's a 91 model?
Yep.
Really?
And it's got a canvas roof that slides back for a sunroof.
And that was factory production?
Yeah.
They made
I've never seen
20,000 of them, and the reason we haven't is because they were limited to Japan.
Okay.
This is an adorable thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. Well, it's got the little 3-cylinder, and I think that's the Suzuki motor that was in the Geo Metro.
Yes.
And it's I remember that I told you the Geo Metro Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever drive one of those things?
No.
It's a 1-liter turbo, and the turbo is about the same size as a 35 millimeter film cartridge. Little bitty thing. Well, they were front wheel drive, and the configuration, your left axle was about 1.5 feet long. Yeah, it's about 18 inches. The passenger side axle was 3.5 feet long because of the way the drive shaft or the transaxle was. Well, got something called torque steer, and I know it's a 1-liter motor and it's 77 smoking horsepower.
77 horsepower and 78 foot-pounds of torque.
Wicked. I mean, just wicked. Anyway,
Wow.
but you it's all power to weight. I mean, a freight train's got 5,000 horsepower.
Oh, yeah,
but it's
exactly.
110,000 tons.
Yes, exactly.
So you take off this Metro, you take off around the block, you roll in the throttle, and it sounds bizarre. Geo Metro rolling in the throttle. Anyway, you roll in the throttle, the boost would come on, the right tire would spin hard, it run you off in the ditch. It's called torque steer. And
Wow.
These were not high-end cars, but it's probably the cheapest thing.
They were.
But fun, holy smoke!
I've never driven one.
So I when we come in the shop, I had to put a motor in it. So we found the engine, put it in there, and when I gonna take my scrap out, picked it under one arm. The engine, walked out and throwed it in the scrap pile. It weighed 70 pounds. I don't know.
Wow.
So it was a little
That is
3-cylinder
amazing.
aluminum.
Well, how did you get in the car?
Oh, no problem.
I've seen those cars. There's kind of small
No,
cars.
plenty of room.
Now,
Really?
since Geo's made by Chevrolet,
Yeah.
it's designed for Americans. No, it's easy to get in and out of.
Oh,
Okay.
The
Yeah,
last car I had, it was a small 2-door coupe, but it was made by Mercedes. Mercedes designs their vehicles for large people. You fit comfortably in it.
yeah.
When I was transporting cars, I've gotten a handful of these small cars and loaded on my trailer, and I couldn't get out of them. I'm up 10 foot off the ground
Right.
and trying to get out the car up top, and I'm about to fall off the trailer trying to get out of it, because my legs are too long to bend to get out from what I had to stand on.
Of course, you've driven a bunch of cars, but I worked on cars for over 40 years, and we got to calculating how many cars I have driven. Best I can tell, somewhere between 50 and 60,000 cars is what I have actually driven. I probably hold the record of the most Bandit Trans Ams of anybody in America. I worked at Pontiac when those things were come out.
Yeah.
So we sold hundreds of them. I drove every one of them.
Wow, that's so cool.
So
That is pretty neat.
Bandit Trans Ams, and they sent me the new car to get ready to school. They messed up bad. If that car, if it fails, we want it to fail with you. We do not want it to fail with the customer.
Yeah.
That means that baby's gonna be wide
Drive
open.
Drive it like
Beat
you
it
stole
like a rented mule.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned to speed shift in a new Trans Am. I had a guy that worked with us. His name was Horace Pigrom. We called him Clyde. Clyde was a nut. We out riding around. He said, "White boy, you know how to speed shift?" I said, "Clyde, yeah, I know how to speed shift." Okay, we'll do it. So we took off, and I run that thing up and touch the clutch and, change the gears. And he said, "White boy, pull over. Let me show you something." Okay, so he got in it. He put the gas on the floor, and when it got up just before it started shaking hard, he put his foot past the clutch and slammed second gear. Let me tell you, I thought the car broke in two. I said, "Clyde, pull over, I gotta do that." So that's where I learned. That's where I learned to speed shift the car.
That's so
in
cool.
somebody's brand new Trans Am.
Yeah.
But it never failed. I probably have driven 300 or 400 Bandit Trans Am. Never had a failure.
Yeah, they had some pretty cool cars. I had a buddy that had one back then. I used to drive it a good bit. It was a stick car, of course.
Then they come out with the TA. There was two Pontiac motors, a
Yeah.
6.6 and a TA 6.6.
TA 6.6.
And then the later TA 6.6, it was actually an Oldsmobile motor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've driven all them things.
That's a funny story talking about that. I'm a big SRT8 Challenger guy. I've had one, and I was looking for some several years back when they hadn't long come out, and I went to a dealership. And this guy had a young boy come out there, and he said, I told him I wanted to test drive this one. They had one up there. It was a year old, but it was a stick car. I only wanted a stick car. And he said, "Can you drive a straight drive?" I said, "Yeah, I can drive a straight drive, I think." He was a young boy. He got in the car, and he had his little phone in his hand checking. I cranked the car up and pulling out the parking lot, and we got on the road, and he's sitting there, and he didn't put his seat belt on. And I looked over there. I said, "You better put your seat belt on." He said, "Oh, I'm good." And when soon we put our parking lot, I sidestepped the clutch. And by the time I hit third gear, he told me to turn around and go back to the lot and let him out. He said, "You go take it anywhere you want to go." He said, "But I'm not riding with you."
That does happen.
Yeah, they just don't understand.
They don't have a clue.
The one time that I went to the Porsche dealership with a friend of mine, he was interested in buying a 911. Well, we got into the salesman, and we got in a test drive. We went down the road, and the salesman was encouraging him to get a street race with this Camaro that was beside us.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, this is a salesman here.
Hey, that's my kind of salesman.
I worked for Steel City Oldsmobile for about 10 years, and some of the salesmen, these guys were all about to retire. That's the age they were. A bunch of them retired, and this guy named Tommy McMeekin, he would. And I learned what real car salesmen were supposed to be about by working there, because these guys, they weren't flim-flam. These were wonderful men.
That's the way, the old school ways were the best ways. That's true.
Tommy, his thing was his demo 442's on thing he'd drive. And he just wait till he want to come in. That's that's Helena Dragway with his demo.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he raced a demo. He said, "I've sold so many cars for a minute." And they said, "Boss don't care as long as I sell cars. They don't care what I do."
Race on Sundays, sell on Monday.
Yep.
That's the way it always was.
Did a bunch of them. So
yeah, I had a friend of mine back home when I was in the motorcycle stuff. Because I was in the drag racing motorcycles for a lot of years, and he had a big dealership. And something new would come in, or new Kawasaki models would come in. They take it back in the shop and modify it a little bit. It all still looked factory, and take it out there and blister everybody. And then next Monday morning, everybody will want to buy one. But it wouldn't actually be completely stock. He would change some stuff on it.
Well, let me tell you the quality of these salesmen. These guys, most of the time, the salesman ain't got anything to do. He's just wandering around.
Yeah.
They got a bed up. One of them says, I tell you what, I can open that drawer. He had a file in there where all of his people he had sold a car. He said, I'll close my eyes and pull a card out of there, and I can sell that guy a car. Bet's on. He slid that drawer open, reached in there and pulled one out. He said, yeah, I remember him. So he called the guy, said, hey, ain't it about time for your new car? The guy said, I've been thinking about me a new car. The guy was blind, and he had to have his driver bring him in and bought a new car.
Really?
And
wow.
And another one, Preach Skinner. He had heart problems. He went out for open heart surgery. Well, his customers would come in to buy a car, and Preach wasn't there. They wouldn't buy a car. No, I'll just wait till he comes back. That's the loyalty, because that's the quality of people we had.
Yeah.
Well, they said, look, if you go ahead and buy the car, we'll give the sale to Preach. If you'll do that, and I'll be checking on you. Preach was #1 salesman for the month and never showed up.
Really? Wow.
That's the quality of people we had.
That's pretty cool. That is real cool.
That's a great story.
Nice.
941-1011 is our number. What you got?
Well, there's music, so we'll just wait until afterwards.
Oh, okay. I guess we better go out and pay a few bills. All right, we'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Hi, welcome back in. 6:48 on a beautiful Saturday morning, but it's not beautiful here. It's beautiful somewhere. And Johnny, I want you to know the sun is out shining. It's just beautiful above the clouds. Now below the clouds,
yeah,
it stinks and it's cold and it's all. So Landon, World of Wheels,
City Auto Sales.
City Auto Sales.
City Auto Sales.
Hook them up.
All right. Located at 3075 Allison Bonnet Drive in Hueytown, Alabama. Give them a call down at 205-744-1119.
Okay, they've got a good line of Chris calls us and he's. I told him. I talked to him last night. I told him to call, but anyway, I'm gonna talk some smack to him too. You know, he deserves some.
I wonder if he's gonna call out Kamikaze. He said last week on the show he's gonna call him out.
I heard him say that.
We'll have to.
I got a witness.
Okay.
Yep.
Kamikaze Chris, because he is at the World of Wheels. I wonder if he's got his El Camino put back together.
There's the nice El Camino downstairs.
Yep. But anyway, City Auto Sales, go out and see the guys out there. They'll take care of your automotive needs on the west side of town.
That's right.
Got cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now I have, I ask you what's your favorite car there, and I have,
We have different taste.
I have taste.
Oh.
That's.
Oh. Okay.
Well, that's it.
Okay.
All right, now in the cool factor, not my favorite car, but in the cool factor, the i8 BMW.
i8 concept, yes.
It was on it's electric BMW on the back of the wheel wrecker, one of their rollbacks.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty cool piece. And how about a Corvair? Corvairs were, according to Ralph Nader, unsafe at any speed. This has got fat tires on back, skinny was on front.
So it's still unsafe at any speed?
Oh, no. It's a good piece.
Okay.
Brand new car. I don't think they've scaled it out yet.
Okay.
So I went over and looked at it. You hadn't seen it yet. You escaped that
No,
part of the.
I went upstairs and wandered around, looked at the fast people.
It's over by the what is that little jumpy thing? Anyway, that's where the Corvair is.
Okay.
That's one of my favorites. Let me see. The Mopar Club is right in front of us, and they've done a good job. They got 8 cars.
Whose cooter did you say that was?
Billy Newman.
That's a beautiful car.
Oh my goodness, that was actually I'm not supposed to tell this. That was a 340 car. Billy made it a 440 car. Johnny, when you see it, it's kind of it's blue.
Yeah.
The paint is a foot deep.
Wow.
He's a body man. There's not an anomaly, much less a wrinkle. That is one good-looking car. And he took every bolt and nut apart on that car and put it all back together. It is beautiful.
I bet it is.
And I think there's 8 A-class drivers. Now these are not trailer queens. These you see these cars out riding around, but these are A-class drivers. The Mopar group is there, and none of my favorite. You know, in Chevelle world, you had a 300, a Malibu, and then Chevelle. Same car, but there is a 300 post car over there that is as clean a piece as I've seen anywhere.
Wow.
Not overdone, just super, super nice. It's over by the concession stand. It'll be north side downstairs. That is a really, really neat. Let's see, what else we got?
We got the Fast Boys upstairs.
Yep, Scott Tidwell's group.
Yes.
He's got his freight truck up there, and with the 369 Mustang. How about there's a red one, a white one, and a blue one?
Is he still a record holder, or did he get passed?
They'll set a record, and wherever you set records, there's 5 more guys capable of setting records too.
Yeah.
366 at 216 on 275 radials.
That's totally amazing these days. Unbelievable.
They show up to win.
That's putting the horsepower at the right place at the right time.
Somewhere 35 to 4,500 at the back wheels. Manny Bajinga holds a record at 5,200.
That's unbelievable.
At the back wheels.
That is,
power management is by far the hardest thing. Making power now is not a big deal.
You're putting it in the right place at the right time.
Managing the power. These guys are going out and at 200 or 300 feet, the front wheels come off the ground, and then they'll. That's it. Paul Gargas actually owns the white car. His wheelie sensor on the front wheels activated 4 or 5 times during the run. He still won a 404. Because what it does is when the shocks come up too much, it knocks a bunch of time out of the motor and
sets it back down.
Yeah. Still win that, and it did that. These guys are some kind of flying. They got a Pro 275, and then so what's the other? And a drag radial, Pro drag radial. But they're both of them 275. There's some weight differences, and you get up and talk. I saw a Mo buddy Tim up there. He was up washing, with the mud and all. This freight truck was dead spotless.
Wow.
I bet you they had a crew of people coming in. Now the wheel record guys, they've got a rotator. One of them huge record rotator deal. We was over there talking to Steve's son, and he said, "How you get that thing out? It's still clean." He said they have a pressure washing trailer that they go into some big wreck. They have to clean the roads up. He said, we just brought it down here.
And clean.
They got it off on a clean spot, skeeted the wheels off, hey, ready to go again.
Wow.
This thing is 40-something feet long. It's big.
I have a friend back home that's got about 4 of those. He's got a big record towing service.
Yeah, Wheels got 4 of these rotators.
Yeah, he keeps adding them every year. I mean, everybody call the train, whatever happened. I mean, not a lot of people can nowadays can go to some of these accidents, especially for trains and these big 18 wheels that run off these bridges and stuff.
Oh yeah,
you got to have something like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't need one of those things to pick up a Geo Metro.
You wouldn't need much.
No, you wouldn't. And I can't imagine how much a record bill would be if things went bad and you had to have one of them. Holy smoke!
I have my friend I'm talking about. I know a few years back he had to go to Charleston, South Carolina. They had a big bulldozer. They were doing some stuff on the beach, and they were out on a dock. This bulldozer had built, and somehow it fell off, and it fell in the ocean.
Ooh.
Okay, it was only about 7 foot, 8 foot down. But the tide come in and out about 4 times before they could get him down there. And he come down there. They couldn't get nobody up there that could get it out. The insurance company, it wasn't new, but it was still fairly new.
Yeah, it was expensive piece.
Big cat. And the longer it sat in that salt water, it was going to destroy it.
Oh yeah,
and
it won't take long.
4 or 5 days. But my friend got down there, and he looked at it, and he told him, he said, "I'll take it out for $40,000." And they just kind of turned their head. They called the insurance company. The insurance said, "Whatever it costs, we'll pay it."
Wow.
So he got it out in about 4 or 5 hours. He had it out. he had to crawl. He'd swim under. They had to send people divers
Oh,
to
yeah.
look it up, but he pulled it out. In about a day's time, that was $40,000.
Well, I went on a record call. We'd sent a record. It's called Blue Lake Drive. It's here in Birmingham. You go up this hill, and you get to the top of the hill. It takes a 90 degree to the left. This kid come in. I don't know if he's drinking. I don't know, whatever deal.
Yeah.
He didn't make the 90. It was at the dam of a lake. Water's about 20 feet deep. It's in the 30s. It's cold. So we had to send divers down. It was an Isuzu rodeo. So we sent divers down. They had to have wetsuits on, or to be able to survive, get the water, because water's probably high 40s.
Yeah.
So I get there. I finished up what I was doing, and I went down to the call. So I got there. The wrecker front wheels were probably 3 feet off the ground. They bowed up on this, and is at least a 45-degree angle down to the water. So as I walked up, the front wheels are way up in the air, and I walked up, and they had this Isuzu rodeo about 2 feet out of the water. You have to pull them up a little bit and let
Slow
the water
the
run.
water
You
run
get a
out,
little
yeah.
at a time. So as they're going along, there's me and my mouth. I said, "Hey, who's a U-boat captain?" This woman standing there said, "My son." Ooh, I wish I hadn't said that.
Wow.
So
VP Racing Fuel, 3 locations. They got
Gardendale Performance
Performance, Off-Road Connections,
and Dodge City Collision.
That's right.
We're going to talk more and more about some VP Racing Fuel when we come back. I do believe I hear music in the background. It's approaching, it's 6:58 on this wonderful Saturday morning. Welcome back into World of Wheels TV, radio, TV, something. Because me being having a face for radio is a good thing.
It helps.
It helps. It does that. It does that.
Keeps you humble.
Humble. Yeah. That's something I have never been accused of. Well, by the way, this is DragRace Central. We got Mr. Jonney Powel with us with Hub Saver. He is in with us today, down from Yankee Land.
Yeah. I'm from, yep. Yankee Land from the south, I guess you're saying.
Well, I mean, I didn't say you were from up there. You just, as a matter of fact, our breakfast crowd on Friday morning was asking about you. I said, Johnny will be back with us tomorrow.
Yeah. The part about Maryland where I'm at now, it's actually kind of a southern part of Maryland.
So you're still from the south?
I mean, there's rebel flags there.
There you go.
I'm in the country. I'm upper part of Maryland near Delaware.
Well, I guess there's some good folks there.
It's a pretty cool place where I'm at. I mean, it's a lot of like-minded people there. But you get further down, what I call no man's land, when you get towards Baltimore. I just bypass that when I'm coming and going.
That's right. Let's go out to a caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Randall.
Good morning, sir. Hey,
how are you today?
Good. Hey, go ahead and speak to Mr. Johnny. This is Todd on the phone.
Hey, I'm glad to have him back on there. I was worried he wouldn't make it back down after the last debacle.
I know, Todd. It's good to talk to you, man.
Hey, we sure missed you at the Southeast Gasser banquet. I know about all the struggles you've been through, and my heart bleeds for you. I'm telling you, it's been a strange time, and but I'm glad you came out and still happy and healthy and doing all you do. Especially you've been such a good sponsor and become such a good friend to everybody in our association. I just want you to know we sure didn't miss you at the banquet.
Well, I thank you so much for that. I really missed coming. I really had planned all year to be there, but I'll be at the next one.
That is great. We'll be counting on that. We always have such a good time up there, and it gets everybody primed and prepped for the race season coming up. And,
yes.
Everybody I talk to is waiting on parts, getting their parts together, and figuring out what they're going to do, and getting ready for March 12th down in Reynolds, Georgia, at that Silver Dollar Motorsports.
Well, look, are any of your cars got any 2 or 3 parts together, or are they all scattered all over the shop?
It is. They're scattered all over the shop. Neither have an engine. Neither have a transmission. So partially wired, partially plumbed, not painted. I memean, you name it. With 5 weeks to go, it's going to be a struggle. But it's this way every year. Every year when the World of Wheels comes around, I'm like, I'm going to have my car ready, and I'm going to put it in there, and I never, ever, ever have a car ready to put in the World of Wheels.
Hey, we always say you got to have your car finished by the World of Wheels, and all you need to just tidy some stuff up. You know, I actually put the wheels back on mine. And it's ready. Well, it's almost ready to set down, but it's assembled again. It's the World of Wheels.
These guys would quit trying to go faster every year and quit trying to set new world records and quit knocking everybody off the podium, it wouldn't be so bad. But
that's not going to happen.
Gracious, it's everybody just keeps going faster and faster and faster. I mean, the class that I'm running has picked up 1.5 seconds, not a tenth.
Holy smoke.
1.5 seconds in the 4 years.
Yep.
So
it's unbelievable.
Amazing.
Hey, if they pick up another 1.5 seconds, oh my God.
Well, we'll be down there with Tidwell and them if that happens.
That's the truth. Them boys are going fast. All them dang competitors mess you up every time.
I'm telling you, and it's just keep spending money, keep getting more exotic parts, keep waiting and building and building. But that's what makes it fun. You know, if we didn't do that, we'd be doing some kind of racing, bracket racing, index racing, whatever it takes to have a good time.
That's
all
right.
Now you say Reynolds, Georgia is your first one.
That is correct. March the 12th. Of course, most people get there March the 11th and do the testing on Friday night.
Right.
Be ready for Saturday. Just make a whole weekend out of it.
So you got basically a month.
Yep.
That is right. That is, and that would include testing, getting everything together, and my engine possibly will be complete next week.
Okay. You know,
so
there's.
we can get that in there, then there's a good possibility we get the car ready. The front end and the deck lid may not be painted perfect to match, may not be lettered, but hopefully we'll have the car race ready and can get through the first race, and then we'll prep her up and get her all pretty fast.
Well, I saw Sammy Sanfilippo yesterday. And
How about that? He lettered one of my first race cars, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
He said, he got told me how many years ago. He said, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Oh, well, Sammy, would you letter when you were 7?" No, he and I went to high school together. I know. I know how old he is.
Oh goodness gracious! But I'm just excited to get things kicked off, and two, it's our busiest time of the year at the car dealership. You know, I bought 25 cars last week. I'm trying to buy every possible thing I can to get them prepped and ready in time, because you know we'll sell 350 to 400 cars in the first 3 months of the year.
Wow.
And you know, it's a struggle to get all those cars prepped and ready.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's funny, Randall, I heard you talking about salesmen and salespeople a minute ago, and, you know, it's such a misconception in this world that those guys and girls are out to rip people off and do all this stuff. Those are actually your best line of defense you can possibly have, because, like you said a minute ago, people that come to work for me and my family, most of them stay there until they die.
Yeah.
I mean, because you get knowing your customer base, you can actually help people buy the car that they need to buy.
And you call them and say, "No, you don't need this. Is the one you need." Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have so many people come in that try to buy things that are not applicable to what they need to be buying.
Right.
And the right salesperson can help them
put them in the
get
right
the
direction
vehicle they need that will serve their purpose. You know?
And then they'll keep coming back.
Absolutely.
And their kids
we have,
and grandkids.
I promise you, the best thing you can ever hear is to walk by a desk and somebody say, "Hey, Todd, hey, I want you to know I'm buying a car here because my granddaddy bought a car here and my daddy bought a car here, and they told me to come here."
Yeah,
that's the best feeling in the world.
That
no
is.
doubt. But I was very fortunate, like yourself, to work around some guys that were really real salesmen, and their customers loved them.
Yeah, you know, and that's my dad. That was one of the first things that he ever taught me is, you know, loyalty and trust, and to have some sort of honor in what you do. And you know, I want to lay my head down at night and go to sleep and not think that I've ever beat somebody or ripped them off or any of that.
Exactly.
I think that's important.
Now I worked for GM for a long time, and we go through those classes to get a new customer in to buy a new car, first time deal. $679 of advertising has gone on. To get that customer to come in and buy the second car, they spent $10.
That's exactly
And,
right.
and you think about that ratio, and the third car you sell them, it didn't cost you anything.
That's right.
What a deal.
Exactly right. And if we keep selling cars, then we keep making enough money maybe that we can continue to race, and we can buy hub savers, and
Yeah, there you
everybody will be happy.
Keep everybody safe.
Hey, did you hear me say I went out to talk to the guys out at Ward Brothers, and a trailer followed me home?
Oh my goodness, I did hear you say that earlier. I was actually went by and visited my mother this morning, and we were sitting there listening to the show, and she said, "Do you know these men?" And I said, "Yes, I know both of them very well." So she said, "They seem so nice." I said, "Well, Johnny is nice."
No doubt. And he's got another guy up there talking.
I said, and that Landon, he's such a nice young man.
He gets that from me.
Oh yeah.
You don't believe
Well, all
that,
right.
dude.
Well, listen, I'm gonna get off here and get to work and get trying to make a little bit of money and help some folks. And,
Go sell something.
If anybody needs anything, come see us out there today. We'll be open from 8:30 to 2. And Johnny, I'm so glad
Thanks.
so glad you're on the show, and so glad you're part of Southeast Gas
thank-
and everything you do. We appreciate it.
Are you gonna
Thanks, Todd. We'll
Hey.
see you in March.
Are you gonna get
Thank
to
you.
come? You gonna get to come this afternoon?
I'm gonna do everything I can to be there 4 or 5 o'clock, like you said.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Todd.
Take care.
Uh-huh.
Okay, bye.
That's our buddy Todd Oat. What you got, Landon?
Where do we buy tickets at?
O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
That's right.
There's a $3 discount, $17 at O'Reilly's. It's $20 at the gate.
Any O'Reilly's franchise
Yep.
will be able to buy tickets.
And they buy them, and it spits off a computer ticket.
That's right.
I didn't know how it worked. I've done all the paying up front. I don't know. Anyway, but I don't. I didn't have to deal with that. But anyway, $17.
This is for adult, full
For
adult
adults?
price. Yeah.
How much? I don't know how much it is for kids.
Don't ask me that.
I don't know. Anyway, the kids don't want to see the car. They come with the parents. We know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've seen so many people walk by our booth, and the man, he's like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
It's just, and his poor wife, she looks like he does when she's in there buying clothes and he's standing in the women's section holding her purse.
Yeah.
It's the same look on her face.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to go?
What?
Okay, so it's children under the age of 5 are free. From 6 to 11 is $5, and then you got your adult prices.
Okay.
So you're now an adult the age of 12.
Landon stayed 12 till he was 22, and he grew a beard. He said, "Nah, I guess I better be
Go
aged."
ahead and be age.
Well, see, it didn't work for me. I was so dang tall and skinny. They knew how old I was.
Yeah. Been this tall since I was 12, so it kind of worked out.
So I'm
Hey,
I'm
you
just
shave
12.
again and get a discount.
Yeah, you can do it.
Well, you know what? I don't drink, but if they had check an ID, I'd buy a beer.
Yeah. Sometimes it makes
I'm
me feel good
safe.
if they ask for my ID.
Yeah,
It makes me
well,
feel good.
Ooh. Yeah, the hot chicks holler, "Sir, can I help you?"
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sometimes I want to know if they just want to know how old I really am when they want to see my ID.
The fact that I'm this age and you're still moving around,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
amazed.
Exactly.
Well, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Let us talk about some VP fuel. We kind of cut them short
Right.
at the first of the.
Okay, gave them the locations, but you give them the details.
Yep, it's 7:15 on a Saturday morning.
They got plenty of selections for your purpose need fuel.
This time of year, Johnny, it's odd. I hang around at Gardell Performance, and the guys that are buying fuel this time of year, 110, and C85 or X85. It's the same thing. One of them's a spec fuel, one of them's not.
Yeah.
But it's like the X16, C16. Basically the same thing, but there's some chemicals. So there's one's a spec and one's not. And then you got 123. There's some T fuels. There's actually one for a 50 cc two-stroke bike,
Two-stroke, yeah.
and it'll weight one up.
Yeah.
They got fuel for your lawn equipment. It's got a 5-year shelf life. When you put it up this year in the springtime, it'll crank.
Well, it's clean fuel, and that's what makes the difference.
Well,
from-
it's
from
fuel,
pump
not gasoline.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But it has a 5-year shelf life that is available also. So you can we gave the locations: Gardell Performance, Dodge City Collision, and Off-Road Connection.
That's right.
And something else, nitrous bottles refilled. You just leave your bottle up at Gardell Performance, and Rick could come by and pick those things up. And this is not going to be a surprise to anybody. There's been some price increases.
Oh yeah. I can imagine.
Nitrous is $8 a pound now. I think 110 has gone up to 70-ish a pail. And 'cause when I say pail, there's a 5-gallon buckets. And because it's not a bucket because you can't peel the lid off of it. So it is a 5-gallon pail.
So we have can openers.
No, it's got a little pop top.
I'm still use can opener. You can open any bucket.
Yeah, but you can't close it back.
Yeah. No.
How you get one of them pop-on things like a sheetrock mud bucket?
Yeah.
Yep. Snap it back on.
That's not going to work good.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the can opener for a 55-gallon drum? It looks just like the one you open a can of corn, only it's big.
It's big. Yep. Exactly right.
You open up a 55-gallon drum
Peels
with
the top off of it.
Yeah.
Cuts it off.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty. You don't want to take a torch to a barrel because there's no telling what was in it.
That's exactly right. Unless you fill it with water first.
You know, our friend George Howard had a Purple Heart. He was cutting a barrel open to make a latrine in Vietnam. The barrel blew up. He got a Purple Heart.
Wow. That's a hard way to get a Purple Heart, I guess.
And he said, "Hey, that's what they told me to do. I had no choice."
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we're going to go out and take a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back in. Now look, we've got some Chris Rogers music. There's some headbanger guitar stuff. It's headbanger and slow car music.
Slow car music.
Very slow car music. Speaking of slow cars, good morning, Chris. Oh, how did you like that?
I just loved your controller, or what would she be called back there? The
board operator, producer,
the board operator.
Just generally smart young lady.
She is gold. I want you to know she is gold. She says, "I got something for you," and I said, "Okay, surprise me."
Who was that?
Was that Green Day or who was that?
She's shaking her head. Yes.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. All right. Great music. Hey,
wow.
That's a keeper. That's for sure.
All right.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Will and Landon. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Johnny's in here with us talking about the Hub Saver. And now, what time are you going to make it down to the car show today?
What time you need me down there?
What time Kamikaze get there?
No, we've already decided. Now, you know, David Church, he's 100% not right. And you can say that boy ain't right. Yeah, last night, you know, they've got a trick bicycle thing. You know, guys doing flips and jumps on bicycles. He said, "Hey, why don't you go over there and trip and fall and turn your leg backward?" And he's out. We'll spray some ketchup around, and Landon's gonna come up. Don't worry, I saw this on the cartoon once. and Landon's gonna roll my leg back around and stand me up. I said, "Man, I'm good now. I appreciate you doing that."
That would be good.
So David ain't right.
Yeah. It sounds like a good time. Y'all should have tried to attempt that. The day's not over with. Well, no, we'll be up there later on this afternoon.
Well, now this, you know, we got Eric Estrada. Is though Punch from the Chips Highway, you know, the TV show from years ago.
Uh-huh.
And David says, "Let me tell you, can I walk up here?" He says, "We need to plan this. I'm gonna walk up and go start to get autograph, and I'm gonna say, 'Oh, Eric Estrada.' I'm just gonna pass out right there on the spot." He said, "Well, yeah, you know, I'll come up and fan you and wake you back up." He said, "Okay, let's do that." All you can do is shake your head. Good Lord. Hey, David would do this.
It sounds like a fun time. Kamikaze is supposed to be up there too. You know, I'm gonna call him out when I get there. So I hope y'all get those pictures. Be ready to take them because I'm gonna call him out right there on stage. You can't say no, can he?
I bet he can.
Technically he can, yeah.
Now he is upstairs. Now the celebrities we had downstairs, of course, they got the big stage on. I guess that's where Eric Estrada will be, and then Red Farmer was signing autographs. And I was nice. I was really nice. These guys come running over to where we were and say, "Hey, where's Red Farmer?" I said, "He's right there. He's across the aisle from us." Oh, okay. And I was hoping I didn't.
Well,
Red's close to 90. And, I was hoping
they get you mixed up. You said, "Well, I could get you a Bobby Allison signature." You didn't offer that one.
They got out there too far. I was wanting to sign Bobby Allison. Been done, Johnny. I did that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, CD Auto Sales is, I'm understanding that he put a Saleen Mustang in there, so be sure
really?
to check out that. Ken's up there with the his personal Saleen Mustang, showing it off, and
Okay.
come by and say hi to him.
We'll do that.
They told me to tell you, be sure and look up City Auto Sales on the web. They got $3.5 million worth of inventory on their lot at the moment.
Well, some of the cars at World of Wheels, they wouldn't be but 7 cars.
Yeah.
Man, some of these things are nice.
Oh, yeah.
I know they got a good selection of cars out there and trucks. So you can go out and see them. 3075 Allison Bonnet Drive, the old Neil Bonnet Honda location.
Yep.
So
Come in and say hey to me. I'm out there all the time, in and out. And J.E., he's one of the sales managers there. They will hook you up with anything you're looking for. If you're in the market for a truck, a van, a utility van, a little sports car, a family car, a Mom and M car, the Mom and M van,
Hey,
they've got it all out there.
I need a 4-door Buick because I'm going to the buffet.
We got one up there. It needs a motor in it, but they're working on that now. But, they got one of those.
Or
you want to drop one of them LS motors off in it.
no, it's either that or a Chevy Spark. What's that, Landon?
You need like an 04 Corvette, and we'll just swap transmission out and put you an automatic in there.
Oh, because he wants the transmission out of one.
And you'd have a Corvette. Look at the upsides.
That Corvette. Hey, the Corvette Club is down there.
Yeah.
You got a
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got a C8. And there's a bunch of C8 down there. Well, there's 2 or 3 of the new ones there.
I noticed how Landon's always thinking ahead, trying to help you out. That was a win-win, is what he's looking at.
Hey.
He's looking out for you every time I see.
I can tell he loves me.
He's a good son.
Oh, hey,
How many other kids out there you think telling their dads to get Corvettes? And I don't even want to drive it. You can have it.
Not many. Mine never did.
Yeah, looking out for you, and he's willing to put an automatic in it to help you out and put an automatic in there.
helping me, huh?
Yep.
Hey, let me tell you, Chris. Look, let me tell you what he does to me. We'll be on the way to the station. I'll call and he says, "I want you to know, if you croak, I'm gonna get a 20 out of your billfold. You still buying breakfast?"
Yeah.
No respect whatsoever. Man,
You can be sad and you can be hungry. There's no reason to be both.
you see what I'm putting up with?
See, he's thinking ahead all the time, that's for sure.
Man.
Who else would have thought of that?
He was,
I
he was
guess so.
trained right.
He's already had his ramen noodles this morning.
Yeah, well, at his age, he can't fill them up, so you might as well plan on breakfast. He's already that. Before you get out through breakfast, he's already probably figuring out where we're going. I heard afterwards to the big breakfast or somewhere. after the
Big
car
bad
show.
breakfast.
Yeah. So he's already got that lined up too, and probably already figured out his order. So
Well, no, he don't care what he gets as long as I do the paying.
Yeah.
He don't
that's
care.
right. That's right.
And I told Johnny, I said, no, we're going to the big bad breakfast, and Landon's going to pay. The color went out of his face.
Yeah.
I thought we was going to lose him.
I'm sure he's already done say he's already figuring he's done forgot his wallet. So I'm just letting you know.
So you think he got alligator arms? When the check comes, he can't quite reach it. No,
That's it.
no, he don't do that. He said, my dad's paying. Hey,
Yeah, there he is.
let me tell you what I did. We used to eat some cool places and all. He'd come down for the weekend. I took him to the Bright Star. I told him about this thing a bunch of times. So we went out to Bright Star, at Bessemer, an incredible place. We went out
Yeah.
there, and you were about 14, something like that.
Around there.
So anyway, we sat down, and the place has got linen tablecloths, and it's opulent. So we sat down. The crab claws came, and the food came. He looked up at me. He took about 3 bites, looked up at me, and said, "You've been holding out on me." Our bill's about $70. Hey, Chris, we got music in the background.
Yes, sir.
Get everybody to
Look
go
forward
out
to
to.
seeing y'all up there at the car show. Y'all have a good one.
All right, buddy. See you.
Take care.
All right, we'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back into Drag Race Central. There's some more Chris music. I'm sure Chris appreciates it. Thunderstruck. How about that? 7:33 on a Landon. I see sunshine.
Do you?
And it's in Alabama. I see sunshine.
Wow. Okay.
I'm impressed.
No, you're having a stroke. You smell toast.
Are you supposed to?
If you smell toast, you'll smell toast if you're about to have a stroke.
I don't smell toast.
Oh, you're good then.
I smell ramen noodles that you had.
Yep.
What is that? I should have a stroke and make it better.
Oh yeah.
They taste good, but smell them. Yeah, it's kind of like golf. Golf's a great game. And enjoying all that. Watching golf is not much.
No, it's not. It's like watching paint dry.
Or watching fishing on the radio, we just ain't much to it.
That's exactly right.
Anyway, World of Wheels, $17 if you get your tickets at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. It is the O'Reilly's World of Wheels. They are the title sponsor. $17, $20 at the gate or door.
Yeah.
I said doors. That's all good doors.
So let's know you go and bust the shorts out for this afternoon. It's going to be 44.
Sweet.
Right.
Last night in the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center, about 8 o'clock. It's getting cold outside. I think they turned the air conditioning on. The wind was blowing. I had to reach to get my coat because I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I had to reach to get my coat. I think what they did, they turned the temperature down to get everybody to leave. They're supposed to close at 9. David, he done had his skull cap on and his big jacket, and he's sitting over there like a mummy.
Wow.
Trying to talk me into turning my leg backward over on the bicycle thing. I still hadn't discounted that. That's a good idea.
Well,
And I was, something else we could do. We could bet on how many people loses their breakfast seeing my leg turned backwards.
that would be true. Probably a lot.
I think it'd be funny.
That'd be interesting.
We're not going to do that. I'm way too nice. It'd be funny though.
Yeah.
It might make the news. Hey, if I do that in front of, I saw CBS 42 down there. If I do it in front of the news, that would really do good.
Yeah.
Because if it bleeds, it leads. We know
That's
that.
right. That's exactly right.
How does a guy with his leg turned completely backwards still smiling?
Hey.
He's tough.
Hey.
These car guys are a lot tougher than anybody else. If a football player or soccer player,
Yeah, exactly.
they'll haul him off on a stretcher. His car
Yeah.
guy, he got up and turned his leg around straight, and he's off still looking at
Or you
cars.
could just walk out with your leg turned backwards. That would.
Hey, these things will throw you down.
Yeah.
Holy smoke! I won't do that. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna do that. So $17 at O'Reilly's, $20 get in.
At the gate. That's right.
Now Landon came over and he says, El Camino. He said, I don't like El Caminos, but that's the prettiest one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is
It's the nicest one I've ever seen, and I don't like it for that reason.
but it's 68 or 9 model. The sides of a El Camino are so long and
Yeah.
multiple angles, and
Yeah.
it's curved. Somebody rubbed on that thing for a long time to get that smooth.
Yeah.
It's black cherry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know, it's some real
Mocha.
dark color.
I bet it looks
Mocha.
good in the lights.
Oh my goodness! And it's up on a rotisserie, and up under it there's mirrors where you can see the underside
Yeah.
looks just like the top
Yeah.
side.
I don't like it.
What year? El Camino?
69, 8 or 9.
Okay.
And the only way to tell the difference is 68 has a vent window,
Vent
69 don't.
Yeah.
And I didn't look at it close enough to. I was just thinking, wow, what's some paint?
El Camino is supposed to be number 2 boxes.
Yeah, but actually, you know what a number El Camino says about you?
What's that?
I'm here. I'm in the militia. I'm here to take over the world. There used to be a list of if you're in a 4-door Buick, you're going to the buffet, and each car had a different, different, and there was 10 or 12 of them, and I've got to pull that back up. But I know El Camino, I'm taking over the world.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
If you're driving a Spark, I'm not sure what it says about you.
You're not driving much.
Well, it beats walking. It's like,
Well,
it's like being at the track, being on a pink moped.
Yeah.
I know it's pink, but I ain't walking.
It gets you where you need to go, I guess.
Corvette.
A Barbie Corvette?
No, you just get you a Corvette.
You want me to buy one with a
Straight shift.
high-phobia drive?
That's right. And then we put you an automatic in it.
One of our guys it was complete auto carriers to come to the dealership. The yellow complete auto carriers trucks would deliver stuff, from the rail yard to the thing.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, got you another one of them high-phobia drives over here." I said, "What are you talking about?" Straight shift. He called them high-phobies. High-phobia drive.
Never heard that.
He was, I can't remember what the guy's name was. He was a neighbor of your grandparents when they lived in Gardendale.
Okay.
These were pretty neat. So you need me to get me a high-phobia drive and swap it over to automatic.
That's right. You be set. You got you a Corvette. I get a transmission. We're set up.
He's wanting another 6-speed.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yep.
Hey, you're doing it the right way.
Well,
And no reason to pull out the one that works right now.
Well, speaking of that, I got my eye on a new race car.
Yeah.
And so I asked Landon. I said, "What do you think about that?" He said, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" I don't know. They got some good pieces in it. We can, swap and trade, and get. Yeah, but what you going to do with it? Well, I don't know. It's a pretty cool car, so it may follow me home too.
That one costs a little bit more.
Maybe that's why you bought the trailer.
Well, now I got an enclosed trailer for that. Yeah, you put it in enclosed. It's a pro mod car.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, he said, "What you gonna do?" Well, you got to have something to drive. What do you think?
You've been saying we need a second vehicle.
I can't go to Waffle House in this thing.
You sure can. It might cost more than anything else you've done in your life, but you sure can.
712 cubic inch engine in it.
I'll ride with you.
Hey, the passenger seat problem.
We have to put you a trailer knob in the seat. Now it ain't real comfortable, but you don't slide out anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny, I really did that one time. I had a 240Z with a blown big block in it. Sitting there in the basement, I ain't got nothing to do. I found this piece of metal, and look over there, there's a trailer knob. Huh. I put a trailer knob in that piece of metal, cut me a hole in it.
Yeah.
Well, I get to the track, and I'd say that thing in the driver's seat, and you see the people look at that thing. What is that? I said, "Well, you sit on that." What? I said, it ain't real comfortable, but you don't slide out no more.
That's a good one, there.
But I said, I may have to swap it to 2 5/16 ball. That 2-inch ball ain't doing it no more. The look on people's face.
I guess eventually you have to go to the biggest there is.
Get one of them pintle hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you do it anyway. That was very, very, very uncomfortable.
Right.
But obviously, before I race, I pull that thing out. And
Yeah.
it just make people. You do what?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Hub Saver. Talk
Yep.
more and more about some Hub Saver. You got
Yep.
some new flyers.
Yeah, we if anybody calls in today or comes out to the show, we've got some discount flyers. Give you a 10% discount. We're going to be out there and handing out some flyers and stuff. So you stop by and talk to us. I'll be with Randall,
Yep.
and we're going to be here all day today and tomorrow. And if you have any questions, anybody has any questions about the part, how it's made, how it's designed, you can give us a call.
And you're gonna have you have your display there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a display out there. I'm gonna set it up and show you how it works.
Oh, that'd
And
be good.
we can answer any questions. I know some people have a lot of questions, but it's a simple product. Anybody can install it. I had walked somebody through on the phone while I was driving yesterday that ordered them, and he didn't understand. But once I said, he looked at the pack. He said, "Never mind." He said, I can figure this out.
Well, as we talk about them, people they question it, but when they see them, especially on your display, oh, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, it's simpler than people think.
You
don't have to actually remove your wheel off the trailer. You just jack it up, pull your cap off. You don't take the nut off, slide it on, put
now
the
take the
nut
weight
back on.
take the weight off
Take the
the
weight
axle.
off the wheel.
Yeah.
Jack it where you can spin the wheel, and if you don't have to repack your bearings, you don't even have to pull it apart. If you run a bearing buddy or any type of greasing apparatus, the parts already comes with some slots in it that'll help grease the bearing.
Oh, that's good.
And those slots also help dissipate the heat away from the edges if you do lose the bearing, and keep some of the heat off of your spindle.
Yeah,
where it
yeah.
won't damage the
I
spindle.
got thinking about it. If that thing's pulling heat out, it may stop a bearing failure.
It possibly
It's
could.
certainly possible.
It was designed for one purpose, which was to save people's lives on the highway.
Right.
But after we got into it, there's a lot of pluses towards it. Anybody I could tell, if they don't have it, they're going to wish they had it one day.
Yeah, it's coming. Let's go out to a caller. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Mr. Will.
Yeah, good morning. Laying down the road here.
Good morning, Will.
Oh, yeah.
Thought I'd give y'all a shout. Been listening to the show this morning.
Well, that's good. What you've got going on up in northwest Alabama?
Well, we had a little racing last night. I didn't
Really?
find out about it till a little late myself. They did some kind of race at the round track last night, and the track must have been froze where they could have a good hard surface to run off.
Well, they had to bring the Zamboni out from the ice rinks.
Yeah, they had something out there. I don't know what all classes ran, but there you go. That might have been. I don't know if that's been the first one. Probably the first one up here in North Alabama, I would imagine. But they did run a race yesterday. I guess they say they could get one in, so they put it out there. And I had to work late anyway. I couldn't win. It was after dark before I got home. But,
Oh, yeah.
But there you go. Some of them's getting cranked up.
Well,
Today's a big day. It's World of Wheels.
being the World of Wheels, it is race season. May not get to race much, but it's race season anyway.
Yes.
I heard of
It is.
a little test session that's going to go on at the end of February. Now, end of February, I will let, as that information comes out more and more, I will let some more people know about it. Can't tell you where it's going to be, but I believe there's going to be a test session. If the track will be prepped for bracket race, so it'll have good prep, and it'll be ready. It won't be like a test and tune track. It will be set on kill.
And what is this? Where is this at?
Well, can't say yet.
Can't say. Okay.
'Cause
That's fine.
it's actually going to be a private test session.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So
That's
there's
great.
8 or 10 teams that I know of going there right now. Montgomery Motorsports Park, hint, Capital City. Anyway, it's sometime at the end of the month.
Oh, that's great.
And there's not a date set yet, but I would just imagine this time of year it's going to be on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, hearing about that. And they need more stuff like that, where people can go and do things like that and have some kind of, extracurricular activities, I guess you'd call it. It makes it, and have the, place to test, tune your car. There's not that many places up here. I know that. I think you may have to go to Huntsville or, I don't know if anybody, there may be one in Florence, you might know, but I think you had Huntsville up here, be about the only one I know. You can take one to even, have a dyno test done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that, of course, around here there's several dynos around, but you can dyno it all you want to, but till you go down the track, it don't matter.
Oh, yeah.
I see these diesel guys, their pickup trucks. Boy, this thing's got 2,200 horsepower, some kind of crazy number. Put them on the track, it runs, a car with 2,200 horsepower is scary. A truck, nah. They just blow smoke and tear stuff up.
That's true.
Folks tend to exaggerate a little bit at times.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Go ahead.
That
And I heard you say something earlier about kind of like made me think about brand, being loyal to your customers.
Yes.
That was good. Y'all had some great customers. Sound like at the car lot years ago. But
Yeah.
people are just not. They're just not that loyal, man. It's hard to find people that'll stick with you, through the hard times, and the brand loyalty, the customer loyalty. A lot of it's just not there anymore, and that's a shame.
It is, because I was blessed to be around some guys that were just incredible, and mechanics too. We had 17 mechanics in the shop. Well, you talking about busy, man? A lot, 300 cars a day coming in. I said 300.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Man, alive.
But that makes a difference. You find some place, that's good, whether it's a mechanic shop, a store, something like that. And it's good, deal with local people as much as you can. Your mom and pop stores and things like that, like your co-host there this morning, and the seals and everything. It makes such a difference if you deal with somebody local and there's somebody, an independent owner, versus buying something. You're going to get a better product most of the time and get better customer service.
Now, big thing, if you have a problem, the owner is standing there somewhere. You're his customer. He's going to take care of you.
Absolutely.
And if he's a good man, wants to stay in business, or woman and want to stay in business, yes, they'll take care of you and buy the product.
You're their customer.
That's right.
Well, Will, you going to get an opportunity to come to the World of Wheels?
I'm going to try my best. I plan on being there. Y'all said around 4 o'clock?
Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. We'll it's very, very informal. We got a good spot. We're in Section K, I think is what we are.
Okay, good.
But anyway, you just come on in and hang out with us. We'll be tickled to death to have you.
I'll try to, man. I'm planning on being there, my friend. We'll see y'all. Have a good day. Be careful.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
All right, that's Mr. Will Hurst up in Moulton, Alabama. That's on the way from Coleman on the way to Tuscumbia, up 157.
I met him in Huntsville, I believe.
Yes, he was in the RV.
Yeah, the RV. Yep.
Sure was. Do I hear music? I hear music.
Probably so.
Well, I guess instead of me singing, I should say, well, let's go out and take a break.
Well, let's do it.
We'll be right back on DragRace Central. Well, you got some Forrest Gump music going right there. That's when he is doing one of his cross-country runs.
That's right.
That's terrible. Forrest Gump music. That's not really what that was, but anyway.
Yeah, it was there.
7:51. I might go 52. 7:51 on this sunny Saturday morning. Hook us up over there, Landon.
Ray's Drive Chefs. You're hooked up now.
I hope. Well, if we need one, know where to get.
That's right.
I don't think I need a dry shaft at this point. I got 7 of them.
We put you in automatic in that Corvette that you're going to get.
So I'll have to buy another drive shaft.
That's right.
You're trying to help me. No, you helping Ray now.
You're becoming a good salesman.
Businessman.
Golly. So I'm suspecting. Hey, I thought about. We got us an RV. I thought about getting a dually, and trucks. Oh, geez, trucks kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And I thought, wait a minute. If I get it, he'll take it home with him.
Driving it, yeah.
And
That's the whole
I
idea.
got lots of projects going around in the house.
Don't get a truck, get a big one.
And there again, he's trying to help me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
sure he'd let you borrow it if you needed it.
Probably not. Well, if I got it, it'd be out of fuel.
No. See, look, I told him what he's got to do. Trucks don't count, but for cars, you buy an automatic. I don't like automatics.
That's right.
I know.
So if he buys a manual Corvette, he's in danger. But if he buys a manual Corvette and swaps it to an automatic, he's safe.
You won't never have to worry about you driving it.
He can have it.
I am so mistreated.
But if he ever decides to get rid of it, I can just swap it back to a manual, and I'm good to go.
And if I croak, he'll swap it back to me, and he'll drive it.
Put a quick change where you can change it out pretty quick. Take turns on the weekends.
That's right.
Man alive. No respect. No respect.
There's a will, there's a way.
Look for a C5.
I forgot what it was I was thinking about getting. I said, no, we went to buy you a microwave. And we are one of these big box stores, and anyway, some little goofy car come by. He said, "Dad, you need one of them." What was that thing? Nissan or Toyota?
Yeah, I don't even know anymore.
Whatever it was, it had a funky roof.
The
he
door
said, "Man,"
handle was on the roof.
He said, "Dad, you need one of those." I said, "What do I need that for?" He said, "'Cause I can borrow it." You see what kind of treatment I get?
Well, you don't need to buy one if you got one.
It's like an RV.
One.
Thank you.
See, you two over there. It's like you never need an RV if your buddy's got one, because you just go with him.
That's true. I've had all those kind of friends in my life. Believe me, when I had my motorcycle shop, everybody wanted to go travel with us. Everyone wanted to go with us, because we had everything everybody wanted. They didn't have to have it. But then when that was all over with, everybody dropped off like flies. You didn't see them no more. You know how it works.
Oh yeah. Well, fortunately, in race car world, everybody when you pull up, and open your trailer, everybody can come and go, and you can go in there. Anything you need, you just get it.
Yeah.
Because they'll bring you back. Because these are your friends.
Yeah, right. I used to have to go to the houses and collect it when I would need it.
Wait a minute. Here we go again. Landon bought him a house back in October. Mm-hmm. Got moved in. Well, we moved him out of his old place. We picked something. I said, "Hey, there's my so and so."
There you go.
I didn't say that about 50 times. I had a cooler. It hold like a 6-pack of cold drinks. I've tore my house up. Can't find anything. Got to his house. There's my dang cooler.
No,
I said,
in my defense,
Well,
you never asked me.
It wasn't
as I
lost.
had you have it.
At least you knew where it was.
Well, I got a tool room. I went in my tool room. I got one. I know I did. And finally, I called him. I said, "Hey, did you get my brake tool?" "Well, yeah, I knew you knew I had that." Okay. So it's the thing that you push the caliper pucks in.
Mm-hmm.
I no longer own one. He's got it. I said that probably.
I put it on loan for him every now and then.
There it is. About 50 times. Oh, I thought I lost that. So all you dads out there, y'all understand what has been going on with me. You just.
Hey, look, he's leaving me high and dry at the house, honestly, because all the stuff he wants back. So it's really taking a toll on my tool collection.
I found my brand new torque wrench. I got one that's got about 3 teeth missing off of it.
You know, you gave me that one when I was like 12.
I did?
Yeah.
See,
Now,
here we go.
I didn't really mind it that much because it has a flex head. I didn't really care for that on a torque wrench.
But anyway, I found my new torque wrench. You know, it's in the case. Where's this thing been?
Yeah, well, now you know you can start back landing, going visiting him, and start building your stock back up.
Well, realistically, I have a large tool collection that's at his house.
There we got.
But we have nowhere to put it.
We have. There's a garage gonna come available next to his house. We're gonna build him one, whatever.
Yeah.
But if he gets that thing, we'll load him up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I've got 2 toolboxes. Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 extras there, and they go into your house.
Yeah. Just full of stuff.
Yeah.
So, at some point, I'll have my tools, and his.
You hear that? And his.
And his. That's mine and his.
I'll go downstairs and can't find squat. All right. Come to the World of Wheels today.
Mm-hmm.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts are $17 at O'Reilly's and $20 at the gate. Come and visit us.
Fuel.
You can
It won't be there, but go buy it somewhere else.
you can go buy some VP fuel at Gardendale Performance, Dodge City Collision, or Off Road Connection.
That's right.
But it's too dang cold to go racing. Of course, I tell you, years ago we'd go to the World of Wheels.
Yeah.
As soon as we left out of there at 9 or 10 o'clock, we're street racing all night
somewhere.
long.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah. There's no time limit on that.
Oh no, it was cold. Oh, it was cold. I don't care.
Daybreak.
You wear a coat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So come visit. Mr. Jonney will be there with the Hub Saver. Come and he'll have a display set up. Just come see what all this stuff. And we've talked about it a lot. He's been on here with us a lot, and he's been sick a couple of weeks, but he's got going again. And come down here to visit us. And he, of course, when the gassers come in May, he'll be here for the gassers.
Yep. We look forward to seeing everyone.
Now, Landon, breakfast is coming, and we're going to let Jonney experience this breakfast house that we're going to.
Right.
Tell them what the name of it is.
Big Bad Breakfast.
Big Bad Breakfast.
And I don't know who came up with the name. It probably don't fit, but there's
sounds good.
20 or 30 people in line, and they'll take your name and they'll text you or something.
Wow.
So it's
Well,
you'll experience that. We're about 15 minutes away.
that sounds good to me.
Well, Landon, I hear music in the background. Just remember, everybody come out to the World of Wheels. We'll love to see you down there. And just remember, the older I get, the faster I'm going to be. We'll see y'all next week on Drag Race Central.